Well, as you can see, I've got this car pulled up here. My brother came by last night and said he had squeaky brakes. So I went ahead and started changing them, and when I was down under his car, this whole side of the subframe was actually falling off. The washers had rusted away and the bushings had gotten all torn up. So to fix it last night, I went ahead and I pulled this thing up, drove it up on flat tires and everything, crawled under here and pulled out one of those bushings and put it in his car so he could get it home. And I think he's going to come back up today, and I'm going to fix the two bushings on this side of his car that need to be done, and there's one on the other side. So out of 6 bolts that hold in the transmission and the engine and the steering and all that, he had 3 out of 6, so it wasn't a good deal. So I'm going to go ahead and air these tires up and actually pull this into the garage so I don't have to lay out in the ice and snow again. And I think I'm going to pull out all the bushings on this car, because they're relatively new, I believe. Even though the car is rusted to crap, the bushings still look good. So I think that was replaced at one time. So I'll pull them all out, shove something in this car so I can move it around. And when he gets back here, I'll go ahead and fix his car. Well, as you can see, the bushings are still pretty good on this car. They're not rusty really compared to what they should be with all the rust on this car. So I'm thinking they were replaced at some point. So I'm going to go ahead and yank these out of here. I don't think I'll have the camera running because my compressor is going to run and the impact's going to run, and it's just going to be nothing but noise. That, and I don't want to drip any crap on my camera, so I won't put it under there. Well, after messing around with the back ones for way too long, I went up to the front ones here and yanked them off, and they came right out for the most part. Now I just got to figure out how to put that back up so I can get it out of here. And they're not the prettiest things in the world, but they're better than nothing, which is what my brother has on his car. So 2 of those should be good enough. Now I can fix his. They want, I think it was $45 for one new one, and my brother needs 3, so he's not going to spend that kind of money for a car he just wants to get through for another year. So we'll put these in. They'll last for a little while, long enough till he gets another car anyway. Oh, what a pain in the ass. Alright, I've taken some old rusty upper cups and just flipped them over, shoved them in the hole there for the fronts, and tightened them down. It'll be good enough to hold it so I can get this piece of junk out of here, and then when my brother gets here, we'll take a look at his car. That should be fun. Well, I've got my brother's car here, and as you can see, bushings are junk. Now this one here, unfortunately, is completely loose, so I won't be able to unthread it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that Sawzall there, cut it out, and then I have a hole saw. Hopefully we can punch through this, put the new bolt back in, new bushing, and put a nut on top and get a wrench on it. So we're going to go ahead and give it a try, see if it works. Alright, we got her out of there. Sawzall cut the bolt right off, and as you can see, this is the upper piece, and it's rusted right away. So now we get to try to drill a hole in that so I can have access to put a nut on there. Alright, as you can see, I've got a nice hole cut in the wheel well here, and I pulled the bolt out. That's what actually holds the bolt together, holds it in place. Horrible design if you ask me, but it's out, and we're going to go ahead and throw in a washer and the bushing here and a nut on top, and we should be good to go. I'm going to leave that hole open because he just wants to run the car for another year, so I'm not too worried about it rusting away to nothing because, well, it already kind of has. Alright, I've got both the, well, newer bushings in it, and as you can see, that's how we did it. I've heard of people drilling holes from the bottom and able to get like a punch in there or something to spin the original nut off, but I wasn't about to deal with that, so I just cut a hole. If that happens on this front one, it's not so bad because there's a hole there. You can usually get a wrench in there or something on the top of that nut. But this side's done. now it's time to go over to the other side. Alright, we've got the passenger side wrapped up. I only had to replace this one here. It came out pretty good and new one went in fine, so this thing's ready to go down the road. How do you like that?
One more year.
I fixed it for what, 50 something bucks?
That's not bad.
Yeah. And I got a hole saw out of the deal. Sweet.